everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Svenja and today is December 13th, which means Christmas is right around the corner. And I have been really busy gift knitting for the last few weeks, 2 months really, and thought it'd be really fun to share how I approach gift knitting each year, what I've already cast off and are finished, ready to be wrapped up, what's still on my needles, and a few things that are yet to be cast on, which I don't know if I'll make the deadline, but I'm going to try. And towards the end, I'll also show you some of my tiny sweater ornaments that I have made for our tree, which is clearly in the background. I actually posted the recipe, which is like a basic instructions to make this on my Instagram today. So if that interests you, then head over there. That is posted. So today is a really relaxing day at home for me. I am not wearing anything knitted. This is a scarf I actually got for my birthday. And if you're anything like me, when you get something new, you get obsessed with it for a few weeks or months. And this is my new obsession, is this big flannel cozy scarf. And I have some tea and all my knit projects kind of laid out in front of me here. And like the last video, I'm going to try to film this all in one shot, so excuse the interruptions if they happen to come about. It's just a lot easier not to have to go back and edit out a lot of things, which, like I said, has been very time consuming. And when you don't have a ton of time, then you got to make do with what you got. So gift knitting. So my family celebrates Christmas. So that's usually the holiday that I'm making things for. And each year I start thinking about what I'm going to make for people, as well as the people that I'm going to make for. I would say probably like end of August is when I start to brainstorm these things. And some things that I think about is who I knit for the year prior, what I made them, if they've requested any items through the year, which has happened as well. And then once I determine who I'm going to make for, which I tried to keep the list pretty small, basically to immediate family, some friends here and there. I obviously can't knit for everybody in my life, so just picking a few people each year makes it a lot easier to actually complete what I set out to do. So this year I'm knitting for some of my family members, and I have a few requested items that I'll show you. They're are actually already done, as well as some friends that I have things cast on for. I don't know if I'll necessarily meet in terms of deadline for Christmas because I won't see them for the holiday. So I don't think I'll show those items now because I don't want to ruin it. And that brings me to my next point, that if you're family and you think that I'm knitting for you this year, please stop here. Do not watch the rest of the video. You'll ruin your surprise. You can watch it later after Christmas if you truly want to. So yeah, I pick who I'm going to knit for, and then I think about what they enjoy and what they actually wear. I usually stick to things like hats or socks, mittens, like small accessories that are quick to knit, relatively budget friendly, so things that I can use my stash from, or use from my stash, and basically universal items that can be worn seasonally. So not necessarily like a big sweater that has to be custom fit and I need measurements for, because that kind of ruins the surprise too. So I start there, and I would say that's probably end of the summer when I'm starting to brainstorm. And I would say as like November, late October, early November starts, I start actually making a plan, and we'll cast on one or two things. And I'll try to get those out of the way, and then time basically when I'm going to see people, because I see some of my family before the actual holiday. So I'll start to time it out and make a little calendar for myself. And once I am in the process of gift knitting. I try to finish things and then kind of set them aside. And when they're all done, I'll wrap everything together. And I'll show you as well how I usually wrap or, quote unquote, present my items to them. Because I think that's an important part of giving a handmade gift, is making sure that it's wrapped nicely and maybe has a special touch. So that leads me to my first finished object. So this is an item for my mother-in-law, who really loves my knitting and recently has been asking for things, which is great because I love to knit things that people actually wear. So I don't necessarily want to spend a lot of time or money making things that don't ever get used. So she asked me for this hat that I've knit before called the Bobble Hat, which is a pattern by Donna Smith. And it was a pattern that was the Shetland Wool Week pattern back in 2015. And I've knit this pattern a few different times, which I'll show you my version because I pretty much knit this to, and by my version, I mean the hat that I made for myself a few years ago. So this is it here. I'll just show you. So like I said, it's the Bobble Hat. It's like B-A, ba for sheep, Bobble Hat. And it calls for, I think, worsted or Aran weight yarn. And it's knit in the round. It's obviously a color work hat here. Super fun. I get tons of compliments on this. I wear it all the time. And I've actually sold a few in my Etsy shop as well. And I used Letlopi, which is an Icelandic wool, so it's fairly scratchy, to be honest with you. I can wear this on my head fairly comfortable for like, I'd say 4 or 5 hours, and then it gets a little scratchy, so I take it off. So anyways, my mother-in-law asked for this hat as a Christmas present. And these are not necessarily her colors. She loves like jewel tones and like purples and turquoise. So I told her, so she knows it's coming, I told her that I would knit her one in her colors. So here is what I came up with. So it is obviously a modified version of this pattern, and I'll tell you why in a second. So if I'll compare the two here. So clearly modified. And the reason I did that for is because she has a really cute like pixie haircut, and she likes to wear hats kind of with her like wispies out in the front to frame her face. And so she wears them kind of like a cap versus a hat. So I tried hard to kind of make that style happen with this pattern. So instead of the ribbing on the bottom, I just did a provisional cast on. And because the Letlopi is so scratchy, I knit a little liner here in a more comfortable like merino yarn. And then I basically did the pattern up until the decreases, and I decreased a little bit more rapidly. And I have yet to add a pom-pom. I don't know if I'll do that yet, but it blocked out really nicely. I'm fairly happy with it. I'm a little worried it's too small for her, but she has a pretty tiny head, and it fits me in the way that I envision her wearing it, maybe with like a bobby pin stuck in it. But I also might put like an elastic lining in the brim so it stays on a little bit easier, better. But yeah, so that's the first finished object here. If you are interested in how I modified that, I'm happy to kind of write up a little instruction of how I did that. And I will do my best to post this to my Ravelry as well, which I'm not great about. So that's my first finished object. I should tell you that I knit that with Lopi yarn, which I talked a little bit about, but I actually pulled these colors out of my stash here to show you. And these are the two like main colors in the hat, yeah. And this one is, they don't have color names. I think they technically do. You can find them, but mostly they're by number. And this one is 9423, and this one is 1705. So definitely her colors. I hope she likes it. We'll see. I might have to alter it a little bit, or even have her like try it on and then change it up a little bit. And I knit this hat on US 7mm for the color work, and that was in the round until the decreases where I switched to double pointed, which is usually my go-to. So yeah, let me know if I should add a pom-pom, if you think she would like it or not. The other hats I've made her before have a pom-pom, so I feel like I should. I've also seen like a really cute little like braided cord, or like a braided tassel almost. So thinking about doing that. Either way, I think it's adorable and I think she'll like it. So that's that. The next finished item I have are, I actually have 2 pairs of socks with the same pattern and a third cast on. These socks, I'll just go ahead and show you here. So these are the I'm So Basic socks pattern by Summer Lee. And this is my favorite sock pattern. It is a free pattern, and it is not only a pattern, but it is like a picture tutorial of how to knit socks. So if you are new to sock knitting, which I am fairly new, I've only been knitting socks for a couple of years now, this is the pattern that I often recommend for people. And they're just great fitting, basic vanilla socks. I love the heel flap and gusset, as you can see here, right here. And yeah, they fit me really well. They fit the people that I've made them for well. You can customize them really nicely, as I've done here. So these are, I'll show you 2 of them here. I love them. So these are for my brother. I have 2 brothers, and they both love my knit socks. And I thought about making them like a matching pair, but so far I just have one pair done here. I'm in the middle of another pair. So these are knit with Knit Picks Stroll Tweed, which is one of my favorite sock yarns, hands down. I will use this for years to come. I hope it never ever is discontinued, because I'll buy it out. I just love this yarn. I think it just checks all the boxes for me. It's durable. It is a great tweed yarn. I love the like nubs, as you can see. I just think it makes the yarn really interesting. And it holds up really nicely. It washes nicely. It's enjoyable to knit with. I just don't have enough good words to say about this yarn. And I wrote down the colors as well. So I used Oyster Heather for the beige, and then Dill Heather is the green, and Firecracker is the red. And as you can see, I've striped it, which I basically just knit 2 rows in one color and then 2 in the other, and I alternated that all the way down the sock. There's a few different ways you can do this. I intended to not have to go back and weave in any ends, so I kind of just held the yarn down the sock, and you can't really tell. You can tell a little bit. So if you see this line here, that's where the color changes. And I obviously did not knit jogless stripes, which I have yet to figure out a really great technique. I've tried a few. I don't know, nothing's really stuck. So I just kind of pick up and I keep knitting and make the like rows even. And obviously that will lead to a jog here, because when you knit in the round, it's circular and you're not knitting flat. But it doesn't bother me too much. I don't think you can tell from far away. You can always look at the other side that doesn't have the jog, which it looks much cleaner. But yeah, I do know that Crazy Sock Lady has a tutorial on this type of technique, knitting two row stripes, I think. I should probably look into that and see how she does the draglet stripes. I just kind of winged this. Yeah, and the traditional heel flap and gusset and a rounded toe. I knit this size, I don't know if it has like a name, but it's the second to last size. So you cast on 72 stitches for the ribbing. So these are my first pair of I'm So Basic socks. I might as well show you my whip because I'm knitting the exact same pair, kind of in a different style. And I'm picking off some dog hair, which is my life. So this is sock in progress. So same exact pattern, same number of like stitches cast on, same yarn except in a different color. So instead of using this yarn was for the other sock that I had, I'm using this combo. And these colors here, so again, Stroll Tweed, this is, I don't have it written down. I think it's like Barn Heather, I don't know. If you look at the website, you'll probably see the differences in the shades. But like I said, I'm knitting these socks for my brothers, and I didn't really feel like matching necessarily, but I wanted them to have like Christmas colors, but different. And so this sock I'll make red, and then the other sock I'll just make the same. I'll have the same like ribbing and toe in the beige, and then this, it will be a solid green. And so they'll kind of be like matching Christmas themed socks. So that's one whip that I will have to finish by Christmas. My next whip, which I guess we're just gonna finish out with the socks. So next whip, this was my first Christmas cast on. These are socks for my father-in-law, and they're not Christmas themed clearly, but they are kind of cool because they are from a color changing skein. So if I line them up, which is going to be really hard to do in the camera, one skein pretty much like, you know, changes colors from one sock to the next. See that change? Yeah. So I think he'll find that pretty cool. And again, same pattern. This is the I'm So Basic sock pattern by Summer Lee. And this yarn was, it was Cascade Heritage Wave, which is a superwash, 75 superwash merino and 25% nylon. And I actually bought 2 skeins of this. I don't know the color of the first one. Do I? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I lied. I have the tag right here. It's color number 517. So there's the Cascade Yarns, Heritage Wave. 517 is this color changing. And like I said, I bought another skein of it, and this is how it looks in the skein, which I thought was really funny because the sock did not look anything like the skein. I actually have little balls. If you can see it. The color did not look anything like the skein. So I wonder how this blue skein will knit up. And I probably won't make anything with this. I just thought it was interesting to give you guys an idea of what it looks like in the skein. And this is color number 512. So a really nice like blue-green color changing yarn. So that's it for socks. My next finished object actually is a hat for our friend's toddler, and we see them this week, and we haven't seen them for a while, so I figured I would make him a cute little hat to bring. And his mom, our friend, she also knits, so she'll appreciate that as well. And so this is it here. It's a cute little ribbed beanie. He is 1 now, so I always have a hard time knitting for children because I don't have children of my own to be able to like compare sizes. It's really hard to estimate children's heads. I feel like they're much larger than we actually think. So whenever I make anything for baby or said child, I'm always just interested in how it fits. So this is the Lovely Ribbed Hat pattern by Pearl Soho. And if you've never knit a Pearl Soho pattern, I strongly suggest you check them out. I think they are a great resource. I actually have never tried their yarns, which is on my list to do for next year. I've seen a lot knit in their linen quill. So interested in trying that out maybe for like a summer knit. But anyways, this is their Lovely Ribbed Hat, which is a 2x2 rib, as you can see, a folded brim, and then the decreases at the top here, which are kind of interesting. I think they're actually really nice, really nicely done. I thought about adding a pom, but then I think I kind of just like it simple. I might add my little like tag logo on it. So yeah, so this is one of 2 Pearl Soho hat patterns that I love, 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 and can't stop knitting. I've literally knit, I don't know, I feel like everyone in my life has a Pearl Soho ribbed hat pattern, and there's 2 patterns. That one that I just showed you is 2x2 rib, and then there's a 1x1 rib as well. And I'm gonna show you guys this, the 1x1, because I talk about it all the time. So this is not something that I knit for anyone necessarily. It's actually been in my like finished project box for a while, but I feel like I probably should gift it because it's an adorable hat. So this is the 1x1 Pearl Soho pattern, and I think it's called the Classic ribbed beanie, and same, similar construction, a ribbed cuff. The decreases are obviously a little bit different, but still super cool. This is knit in Knit Picks Swish worsted, and it's a superwash yarn. So I knit this and blocked it, and it grew like 8 sizes. It was huge, and so I threw it in the dryer, and it shrunk a little bit and now fits like an average adult head, and it's super hipster. I think it's really nice. The color's nice. I wonder if my teenage niece will like this. Shay, if you're watching, do you like this hat? Do you want this hat? Anyways, so I just wanted to show you that, and then back to the toddler hat here. This was knit in Barocco. I brought the logo here. Barocco Ultra Alpaca Natural, and the color is 62507. So like a perfect taupe. I love it. There's 3 sizes to this pattern, and it's super customizable because you can basically use the needles that are recommended, try to get gauge, but if for some reason the hat's not working, like in terms of your fit, you can always size down or size up. So for that reason, like there's 3 sizes, but I feel like you can make like a ton more sizes, just changing out like what type of yarn, what yarn weight and needles you're using. And so for This baby one, or toddler one rather, I knit the kid adult small, which is the second size up, and I made it on US 3.52 needles just because I like a tighter rib. I think it will, over time, just kind of hold up a little bit more, and maybe as he grows, he can even like, you know, wear it like less cuffed, and it can be a, you know, a bigger hat for a bigger boy. So that's that. I actually knit this one for my husband last year as a Christmas present. So throwback here. I changed up the decreases though. I did them a little bit differently, but relatively same pattern. This is the adult large one, and you can see obviously there's a difference. And I added my little logo on there, my leather tag. So love this pattern. You should try it out. One of my favorites. And they're free patterns, so can't go wrong there. Okay, so that's actually it for finished objects. I showed you my sock whip. Okay, all right, so that leads me to things that I have yet to cast on. Like I said, it's 2 weeks to Christmas. I have a few more opportunities to make some small projects, one being a hat for my husband, which he has been routinely getting. It's kind of a tradition that I knit him a hat for Christmas. And this year, I think I'm going to do a repeat of one that I knit him many years ago, mainly because he just really likes simple hats. So anything that I've knit him with like patterns or cables, he's not necessarily wearing. So if I make him a really, really basic hat, he will actually like wear it day and night, like around the house. He sleeps in them. So anyway, so that's my my plan for his hat. And I actually bought him a nice scarf as a present, like a flannel, like an Irish wool flannel scarf. And so I want to knit him a hat that matches. I have yet to get the yarn for it. I think I might try to go into my stash and pull something out to see if I get kind of a matching color. But I already know what pattern I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the one that I made him years ago. So this is the hubby hat. I love the name of the pattern. I think it's really cute. So it's called the hubby hat, and it's designed basically to be like the most simple hat pattern possible for exactly what I'm looking for. So it's actually reversible, which is really cool. So you can literally reverse it. I knit this many years ago, and it's gotten a lot of wear. I believe this was knit in Quince & Co yarn, and it was probably the chickadee base, which is like, I think this is probably like a heather yarn. I think that's what it was. I'll have to go back and don't quote me on that. Anyways, obviously a beautiful green and then a beige on the inside. He has pretty much only worn it with the green facing outwards. And, you know, really basic. You start with a provisional cast on for the edge here, and then you knit one color all the way up to then do the decreases, which those are really nice as well. And then you pick up the provisional cast on, you knit with your other color basically down, and you repeat the same exact decreases, and then you fold it inside out and essentially sew one end to another through the hat up here, and you block it. And I actually wear this all the time too because it's a great fitting hat. It's perfect, you know, for like all weather. It's not too bulky, it's not too thin and flimsy. This yarn is really soft. So anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna try to essentially repeat this hat, likely in like a darker blue color, maybe gray as an alternative. I could also, just for the sake of being simple, probably just, you know, use one skein and knit an entire hat of the same color if he's not going to wear them reversed anyways. So yeah, so the hubby hat, it's a free pattern by Anna Johanna, and it calls for sport weight yarn on US 4 needles, and it asks for somewhere between like 250 and 270 yards. So super doable project. Again, free. Love the free patterns. Okay. The last thing, which is not a whip yet, I have not to cast on, I don't know if I'll get to them, are a few little knit animals. If you have been active on Instagram at all recently, you'll see a lot of Claire Garland's work recently. It's gained a lot of interest, specifically like her knit frogs. And I just love the little animals. I think they're so cute. I've knit a few little toys, like stuffed dogs. Not great at it. I've also crocheted a few animals as well, which I do prefer knit items just because I'm more comfortable knitting and don't know a lot of like the more complex crochet stitches. So there's one pattern in particular, and I would knit these for both my brothers if I have the time. Like I said, I'm probably not going to get to it, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen for next year, which will probably be the case. And this pattern that I'm considering is Zeke the alpaca. Zeke the aloof alpaca, which is a pattern. I don't believe it's available on Ravelry, it's just on Etsy. And last summer when my brother and I were camping together, he stopped in a knitting store with me, and he saw these alpacas knit up and thought they were just super cool. And I also showed him all the Claire Garland, one of my brothers, all the Claire Garland patterns as well, and he just loved them. So I think that would be a really cute gift idea as well. We'll see if I have time. Maybe last minute I can knit something up and lose some sleep trying to get them done. So the Zeke the alpaca, as well as Frog the toad, is a great pattern. Frog and toad from the children's book. Yeah, we'll see if that happens. Likely not, but I can dream. And then the last thing that I can show you guys is my little sweater ornaments that I made in the last few weeks. So here's the first one. And it is adorable. So I don't know what made me cast these on. I was just looking for a little project to do on the side. I have a lot of Let Lopey scraps from previous Lopey sweaters. And so I thought just like a cute stash busting project. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I did post the quote-unquote recipe, so like the instructions to make this on my Instagram page today. And yeah, so these are just really tiny little sweater ornaments. Here's my other one. And they're obviously like little raglan sweaters, and I duplicate stitched the like the Rudolph face and the Christmas tree on, and added like a couple beads to embellish them. So these are my little ornaments, and I made little like metal hangers. I don't know if you can see that. Little metal hangers to match. So they are currently ornaments on my tree. I'm considering maybe gifting these. I just think they'll make a really cute present. So I don't know, maybe I have time to make another one. I think maybe one with like a white sweater with maybe like a snowflake, or maybe a darker gray one with like a snowman on it would be really festive. And so we'll see. We'll see if I can get to them. So those are my sweater ornaments. Oh, and then before I wrap things up, I will show you how I usually wrap up my presents. I try hard to like put a little tag on or something that reminds them that it was made by me, and a little like personal stamp, whether that's like a tag or like a little pin or something that has my logo on it. And in recent years, I've actually been using little canvas bags like these to put my knits in. So like these are perfect for like socks. I'll show you. Like I'll either roll up or fold socks. So they kind of fit in there. It's a little snug, but they fit. The sweater would fit really nicely in here too. Oh, it would be so cute. So yeah, I'll use a little canvas bag, and then I close it up, and I will usually pin my little my logo. I have like a little card that has my logo on it, and on the back of it says like handmade by Sweater Knits, hand wash only, lay flat to dry. So some instructions for care. So I usually like pin this on there, and you know, I can either stuff some tissue paper with it or put it in a nice, like, you know, like brown paper bag with some tissue paper as well. And I usually like iron these out so they're not like wrinkly like this. I got these on Amazon, I believe. There's different sizes. If you're interested, I can see where I bought them from and link it. And they're pretty cheap. Like I have like a little stack of them here. So they're just nice to be able to give away with handmade things. I've also used like, you know, nice cardboard boxes, and I'll often wrap like my husband's hat in a little box for him to open, just to make it extra special. All right, well, I think that wraps up my gift knitting for this season. It's not a lot, but these things have taken a lot of time. And I have not been knitting for myself right now. I've solely been focusing on other people. And I think that's part of the fun when you gift knit is, you know, while you're making something for someone, I'm often thinking about them and, you know, our memories that we've made over the last year or so, and like how, you know, they're going to enjoy their item or wear it. And that just brings a lot of joy to me. So yeah, if you enjoy knitting gifts or, you know, you're making things, please let me know in a comment. I love to find new ideas, things to make maybe for next year or for other holidays. And yeah, I just thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really enjoying being here on YouTube and sharing my knitting with you. So thank you again for all the support, and I will see you guys next time. Okay.